Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Godspeed Investors. Today we're going to be going over a very interesting and very important aspect of a real estate transaction. It's rehabbing. Now, if you've been in the business for a while, you know that your number one problem in this business is always rehabbing. Number one problem. It is. You are going to live and die if you're going to buy and sell houses by your expertise on rehabbing retail. Well, in rehabbing retail, you're going to live and die by your ability to fix your houses inexpensively. Okay? Not cheaply, inexpensively. So you're wanting to find the best deals. And I'm going to kind of spitball this a little bit. I just kind of gave, what I have here is a list of the importance from top to bottom. Things that are important. So this is the level of importance of what you need to fix first while you're doing rehabbing and retailing. Okay, and you could be also doing this in property, like if you're going to rent them. You're going to rent them too. It's how much money you're pulling out of your pocket. So let's figure this out here. Roof. Your roof is your most important thing. Why is your roof the most important thing? Primarily because if your roof is leaking, everything else is going to be damaged. Okay, so number one is roof. This is also number one for your consumer. When your consumer goes to a house and they see that your roof is kind of or something comes out on the inspection report, they are going to freak out if there's something wrong with your roof. You're going to have to fix the roof. Okay. Second, plumbing, water. Like the reason up here too is because of rain. Second reason is because you can have a leak inside of your house. Water damage destroys houses. It's the same thing with rental property. Renters will have the AC leaking off the roof and they won't even tell you nothing. Or you'll have a leak in the inside of the house. Fix that as fast as possible. When you're doing a rehab retail, you want to make sure all your plumbing is done correctly. Okay? Your job, if you're going to be a rehabber, is you need to find a inexpensive plumber. They are like gold. If you can find a really, really good plumber, you got to treat them right and you got to pay them on time. You got to take them out to lunch. You got to take good care of them because there's not a lot of them. Okay? And, there's not. Third, electrical. Why is electrical so important? Electrical is a little different than everything else we've been talking about. Main reason why, right here, fire. Okay? Electrical problems can start huge problems in your house. People freak out when it comes to fire, when it comes to electrical. They freak out less about plumbing issues when they're buying a house than they do about electrical issues. Okay? So if you're selling a house, know that all your electricals got to be up to date. And the inspector is going to kick your butt on the electrical. He always does. Next, outside siding. I think I spelled that wrong. But outside siding. So the siding is your soffit and your fascia. The reason I put this as number 4 is primarily it's part of the roof. Okay? You don't want water penetration in your house. And then you don't want people to pull up to your house if you're trying to sell it and them see, oh, look at this siding, it's bad. It's the first impression. So you want to make sure that that's copacetic. Fifth, paint the inside. Paint's the cheapest upgrade you can do to any house. You're going to have to paint 99% of every house that you get. Even if you're going to rent it, you're going to have to paint it. So finding a good painter, not necessarily that's his profession. You don't need to get a journeyman painter. Anybody can pretty much paint. I know all the contractors out there, they're going to probably hate that I just said that. But in our business, you don't need to have the best paint job in the whole entire world to sell a house. No. You just need a good painter. Somebody that can paint. Somebody that knows how to mop and paint. Patch and paint. Okay? So you need to find a good painter, and this is where you're going to save a lot of money. Your painter is also generally going to be your handyman. Okay? So, / handyman. Okay? So the handyman can do, some basic plumbing, some basic electrical, some basic flooring, some basic, just little repair stuff, change a faucet, things of that nature. That's the guy that you're going to want. He's going to be your number one guy. He's your handyman guy in this business. You're going to want to sub out your big plumbing. You're going to want to sub out your big electrical. You're going to want to have a good roofer, and that's all he does. But inside, and this siding guy could also be your handyman guy. It's not rocket science. Okay, flooring. Flooring can also be your handyman guy. Or you could have a guy that specializes in flooring. What you're going to want to find here is two things. You're going to want to find two different guys. You're going to want to find a carpet guy. Okay. And your carpet guy is going to be cheap. And you're going to find a tile guy. Okay. Tile guy, your carpet guy is going to be your price per yard installed. Okay. And then your tile guy, you're going to want to get price per square foot installed. And that does not include tile, that doesn't include grout, and that doesn't include thin set. Okay, so here, you're going to want to find out, okay, how much do you charge me when you're talking to them? How much are you going to charge me per square foot installed tile if I use you on most of my jobs? In El Paso, the average guy is going to do $1.50 a square foot. We have really cheap prices for repairs. I'm just going to give you an idea. Okay, so $1.50. If you get a higher quality guy, it's $1.75 installed. Okay, if you ask a contractor to do this, he's going to be at $1.75 to $2 a square foot installed. Okay, but if you get a tile guy, you'll get that discount of the contractor not having to pay him. I get $1 to $1.25 a foot installed tile, ceramic tile. We do a lot of ceramic tile here in El Paso, primarily due to most of it comes through Mexico, and we get really cheap prices. Okay. Next, doors. Doors, you're going to want to find a specialist. Okay. Sometimes your handyman can do doors. Okay. And most handymen can do basic doors. But when you have like an older house, that the doors are not perfectly square, and you're going to need to have somebody that knows how to shimmy doors and so on and stuff, you're going to need a specialist. You could even put in here garage doors, right? And then the doors inside. So you need the hanger. You need a guy that knows how to hang doors. Okay. And then you're going to need a guy that, not a guy, but a company that makes doors. Luckily here in El Paso, we have a lot of manufacturing. So there's a couple companies that actually make doors here in El Paso. So I can get doors cheaper than just going to Lowe's or Home Depot. Okay. Kitchen. Okay. See, isn't that weird that your doors, and I brought this up on purpose. I did this on purpose. Your doors are ahead of the kitchen. But all the home TV network says, oh, the kitchen is the most important thing. Yeah, but you know what? Your house has to be functional first. Okay. All this right here to this point, you're just making it rent ready in a sense. So there's a quality that people will live with if you're renting a house compared to if you're buying a house. If you're a buyer, right? So you're buying it retail opposed to renting a house. So it's two different types of condition. The condition for a rental property is obviously lower. So that's what I'm saying here. Yeah, you know what? You can have the nicest kitchen, But if your doors are all messed up and they're all the different kind of knobs, or the door jambs don't fit right, or there's a big gap underneath the door, you know, people are going to notice that. It's kind of like, you ever seen those cars where they got the best sound system in the whole world? This is like a $2,000 rims, but they're driving a crappy car, right? You could have spent that money and upgraded to a nicer car, and then, you know, so to me, it's like, if you do a whole, you know, crazy kitchen, but you're still driving a hoopty, so fix the car first, get a nicer car, and then you can upgrade it, okay, if you want to, okay? So in the kitchen, yes, the kitchen is the most important thing that sells a house. Yes, I agree. But you got to have the rest of the house done first. And I guess it's a good time to talk about that. Pan over real quick. So when you're looking at what you're going to do in repairs on a house, you need to look at area. Okay, where is it? Is it here on, like if it's on the east side, we're just talking different towns. Our east side is like number 2 in quality, right? The west side is like number 1. The northeast, I would say, would be number 3. Lower valley and central would be kind of the same. It would be like number 4, and then downtown would be like 5. Okay, so this is like the quality standard. This is like the best side of town, right? Now, within each side of town, there's going to be subdivisions. Okay, so each one of these subs is going to have a different quality standard. Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I'm not asking you to divide up your whole city. This is just a rule of thumb for me. So when I'm looking at comparables, when I'm buying a house, one of the things I want to keep in mind is, what's the quality of the house in this area that I'm buying at? Okay, when I fix it, I want to be like a hair nicer, okay, than the competition. I don't want to go from here downtown and take it to all the way to East Side Standard. You're wasting your money, okay? The market won't give you the benefit of what you're spending, okay? You have to fix it to what the area needs. Now, you can have it a little nicer than your competition, and that's fine, that's good. Especially right now, because everybody's looking for the nicer house. Home TV network has changed the market, where it used to be, you know, price drove the market. Now it's more quality is driving the market. So you want to find out what's selling, how long it took to sell, and make sure you use those comps when you're doing the repairs. Okay? Go back over here. I'm done. You can pan back. So just understand that when you're doing upgrades. Okay. Now, another thing. The walls. Oh my gosh. What's the big thing that... I'm going to take a drink of my coffee. It's demo day, right? And they all get excited. Everybody gets out their sledgehammers and... Oh my gosh. I just... You know, I get this big red mark on my head because I keep slapping my head like why? They're like, well, if I open this wall, then it's going to increase my value by $40,000. That's ridiculous. That's stupid. Okay. Let me tell you one thing right here. One thing. 99% of the time, do not knock down any walls. Stop it. Stop knocking down people's walls. Stop buying houses and trying to make it an open floor plan. That's stupid. Okay, you are not an architect. You are not an engineer. You don't even know how to use CAD. Okay, if you don't even know what CAD is, don't say you know how to use it. Stop knocking down your walls in your houses, okay? All you want to do is you want to fix it right. There's going to be enough for you to fix, I promise you, in any house. You're going to have your full fill of going to Lowe's and spending money, I promise you. So when you're going to do a rehab retail, do not, I'm going to put this in red. Do not, exclamation point, do not keep knocking down everybody's walls, okay? The problem too is you don't even know the structural damage. You're going to have the contractor that's going to tell you a contractor is not an engineer and he's not an architect, okay? Okay, enough with that. But here you can go in here, you can put nice cabinets, you can put granite countertops, you can put recessed lighting that'll do an upgrade. You can do all that fancy stuff, big deep kitchen sink, microwave, range hood, stainless steel appliances, whatever you want to do if you're going to sell a house. But do not knock down the wall. That's stupid. Next, bathrooms. Okay? Yes, bathrooms sell houses. And the thing about the bathrooms too is your bathrooms have to match your kitchen. Okay? Not the same style, but the quality has to match. I see this a lot where they'll go and spend all their money in the bathroom, in the kitchen, and then you go to the bathroom and they're still 1970s with wallpaper on the wall. Okay? When you do the bathrooms, they have to match the kitchen's quality, or you're going to make people feel like, oh, I'm going to have to spend money to do this bathroom. People don't want to go to a house and think of a construction job that they're going to have to do in the future. No, if you're not going to do both, then don't do either and just sell it as is, okay? And just paint the stupid walls. Lastly, and this is one of the most important, one of the more important sides to selling a house, okay? And this is more for selling rather than it is for renting, okay? Renting, you don't need any curb appeal unless the neighborhood needs it. You know, like you're doing a high-end rental. But curb appeal is for selling properties. Now, here in El Paso, we do a lot of rocks in our yard because we can't grow grass to save our life. We're here in the desert. So, and then if you're going to do a rehab retail, you're not going to have the time to go there every day and water the grass or take care of that. And you don't want to spend all the water. So we generally do rocks. I don't go crazy with my curb appeal. You know, I've seen a lot of these shows. People there spend like thousands and thousands of dollars doing curb appeal. No, I wouldn't go all crazy on curb appeal. You want to match, like I said, your comparables. So find out what your comparables are, what they sold for, and do that. Okay? This is going to help you sell your house, yes. Make sure that none of the grass is growing out of the rocks, that the weeds are not growing out, that the shrubs are cut, that you don't have a dead tree in the yard. All that kind of stuff is going to matter. But you don't need to get crazy, okay? Just the basic curb appeal, okay? Now, here, I forgot to mention these two things. You're going to find a cabinet guy, okay? Here in El Paso, we have a lot of companies that manufacture cabinets. So you find a cabinet guy and you ask him to manufacture it. You're going to need to find a granite guy, okay? Our granite prices are ridiculous. People, if you guys knew what prices I get on granite, you guys would flip. I'll just tell you, 21 a linear yard installed, and that includes the backing and everything. And that's a 3M. So if you know what I'm talking about, good for you. That means you actually shop for granite. Sinks, all that stuff you buy at Lowe's. Bathrooms, same stuff. You're going to want to match your granite. The toilets, you want to have good toilets. A lot of time you can get away with the old toilet and just get a new toilet seat. The bathtubs, that's another thing. You know, you gotta have a good cleaning lady. The cleaning lady, she's gotta be able to clean these bathtubs and these toilets. If she doesn't, you gotta find somebody else, okay? Find somebody that has good, strong arm to get that stain out, okay? So bathrooms. Curb appeal. So curb appeal, you're gonna wanna find a landscaping company of some sort. If you use grass, get a grass guy. If you use rock, get a rock guy. Whatever, okay? Curb appeal is going to make a difference because they're going to drive up to your house, and what do they say? You've got 15 seconds. That's it before the people make a decision whether they like the house or not. So the 15 seconds, they're going to walk in, they're going to open the door to their car. They're going to see the landscaping. They're going to see the outside siding. They're going to see the roof. Okay? And then they're going to walk in the front door, and you got like 3 seconds left. And then they're going to go to the kitchen. Now, you could win them back with the kitchen and the bathrooms. You know, maybe they're like, well, the outside's not nice, but man, that kitchen's nicer than anything I've ever seen. You know, but I will tell you this. This is way more expensive than curb appeal, than the outside siding and your roof. Okay, because you're going to have to do the roof anyway if you're rehabbing, retailing, because the inspector is going to kill you on the roof. They get sued for more of that than anything else. So that's pretty much it for today. So go through all these things. Make sure you have a good checklist. Double check everything. When you're going to look at a house, you're not going to know what all the electrical problems are. You're not going to know what all the plumbing problems are. You're not going to know that. So these are kind of the big question marks. You know, maybe you're in a town where everybody gets inspections before they buy investment properties. I don't do that. I go 15 minutes in a house and I make a cash offer. That's how I do it. It's very competitive. We're having to move fast. So if you guys want to get ahead of your competition, you got to learn how to do this. And you're going to learn this, to be honest, the best way you're going to learn this is the hard way, by actually doing it. But these are some of the pitfalls, some of the things that will protect you from losing a bunch of money, and this will actually help you make money. So thank you guys again. We'll see you next time, and Godspeed.